everything okay over there?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And my monitors are all shaking, rumbling. No, he was moving. So
I was setting up Cody's camera.
Oh. Yeah,
well, I was connecting my laptop to the device and all fixed. Creepy hugs.
There you go. Bill Squire's over there. Mary Santora's over there.
Yo.
Poundcake's in the back. A windowless closet.
Afternoon, white people.
And we are happy to welcome you into the fold. If you want to join us telephonically, that everybody tells you to see, and I haven't seen it yet. It's supposed to be really, really good, but I haven't seen it.
I've never heard of it.
I was on I'm on a handful of horror film subreddits, and I was going through last night and kind of jotting down some notes of some horror films I wanted to see. And then what I do is I pick the most mentally taxing, just gory ones, and then I will forward that list to one Mary Santora because she's a huge, huge fan. Ever since I pointed her towards Song of Solomon, she's been...
Something wrong with you, man.
She is...
Seriously.
She is. She's in the club. That's how I grew up, though. And in the 80s, when I was growing up, and much to my parents' credit, as conservative and Catholic as they are, they were like, look, you can watch whatever you want to watch, as long as it's not warping your brain, as long as you're not getting weird thoughts in your head, you can watch whatever you want to watch. So I was weaned on a diet of splatter films, and, in the 80s was a pretty goofy time for horror movies. I mean, for every Nightmare on Elm Street, you'd have you'd have something stupid that would be just ridiculous to watch, but I watched them all. But, people's tastes get ratcheted up, and so there's not so much of that rubber doll getting its throat slashed anymore in movies. Hasn't been for a long, long time. They're very, very realistic. They're very, depending on what country you're getting them from, they can be very, very taxing. So, of course, I'm only half kidding about Mary being into these movies.
I hate them.
She won't tell you that she likes them, but she'll tell me in confidence.
Nope.
Whoops.
Nope. No confidence.
That. Oh, okay. No confidence at all. Well, anyway, so I haven't, when he said I'm going to be in Busan's, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. I don't know. South Korea. It could be Busan. It could be Busan. It could be bussin'.
Bussin'.
The train to bussin'. I don't know.
Bussin'.
Bussin'. What's bussin' slang mean?
Bussin'
really
means
good.
There's more than one definition of it in the Urban Dictionary. Bussin' means we're about to start bussin', like shooting, so it can mean that, or bussin'.
Yeah, that doesn't. He goes, bussin'. It means we're going to start bussin'. Yeah, well, it's
better get out of here before we start bussin'.
Yeah, that's right. I thought Mary said something good. I thought it was something good.
That's how my 10-year-old niece uses it.
Somebody's like, man,
this is bussin'.
This walk-in taco is bussin'.
bussin'. She says it all the time.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, and listen, you gotta be plugged into the youth culture, right?
Don't.
Yes, you do. 10 years old, you got to know these things. You at least have to know them, I think, and hip hop culture is youth culture. Black culture is youth culture. And I know that your niece isn't black.
No.
But she's bussin'.
She's bussin'.
Things are bussin' in her world because that's how those things lay out. I think it's very important to not be, and you can separate the wheat from the chaff in your own mind, but I think being plugged in to youth culture is a valuable thing.
She said it about, I had half my family over a few weeks ago. My older brother was in town for something, so him and his kids came over, my younger sister and her kids came over, and we had like a build-your-own salad for dinner. And she said it about one of the toppings. I'm fairly positive it was the carrots. I think she was like, these carrots are bussin'. And I was like,
that's a high compliment for carrots. Carrots don't usually get that kind of love.
Well, I think it was the carrots,
but
it was
best a mid-level vegetable.
It was just a whole table full of salad toppings, not like bacon and cheese and stuff, like carrots and cucumbers and peppers.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive she said it about the carrots.
These carrots are bussin'.
Oh, well.
And where did she pick that up, by the way?
TikTok, probably.
Oh,
TikTok and school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about a 10-year-old on TikTok. That might be where my old guy parts come in.
My sister didn't like it. She's like, I think this is stupid, yada, yada. But then it was always one of those, like, all my friends are on it. She got a phone for her 10th birthday. So it was like kind of came with the territory of everyone else is doing it type of thing.
Yeah, my ex-in-laws got my older kids' cell phones way before I think I would have. But I wasn't going to argue. They were going to pay for it. They bought them
Yeah.
the phones, pay for this. I was like, okay, just as long as everybody's, my ex-wife's no dummy.
Yeah, they
like,
thought
as
it
long
was
as
bussin'.
everybody's, they said, this is bussin'.
They're gonna love it. It's
Couldn't you
busted.
do this for us, Dad? I said, I'll give you my old cell phone.
My Nokia.
You can have one of my Pebbles. You can have an old phone there. Boy, I would hate to think that I'd hate to think that the reputation of this program preceded itself to the point where us moving downtown here at 668 Euclid, as excited as we were about it, precipitated our neighbors leaving one by one. Mary tried to go into the convenience store across the
Yeah.
street.
Already
Last
gone?
week, he goes
He
in.
said Thursday of this week is his last day.
Thursday of this week is the last day. This guy goes, I can't keep it open around here. I don't think he got real specific with you, but
He said, "I'm dying." Was actually his exact words. "I'm dying over here." I was
he
like,
meant
"Oh."
financially or he has a terminal illness?
I think financially,
Has he
Financially.
tried a sign though? Because
yeah, I know,
Okay, he could try that.
because there isn't an outside
Something
sign.
as simple as a sign. Well,
It's
now
probably expensive downtown.
another
I'm
one of
sure.
our neighbors is leaving. The chocolate bar has closed.
That's crazy. I
Right
saw
down
that.
there at. Now, I didn't know it was a chain. Chocolate bar is a chain.
It is a chain.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. But anyway, it's been there before I got to Cleveland. Right there at the end of East 4th. So it's like a weird chocolate bar if you've ever been in there.
I've never been in.
And if you haven't, well, now you can't. It was kind of a wild thing because it was like across Euclid from East 4th, but it wasn't really part of East. It never felt part of,
Part of the hotel.
I guess.
Yeah.
Right? And so they posted that they're done. They can't keep it open. Staffing issues and whatever. And I saw these people. I went to their Facebook page where they made the announcement. I saw all these people complaining that they never go downtown because there's no parking in downtown Cleveland.
There's
I'm like,
plenty-
there's garages
No,
everywhere.
There's
What
no
are you talking?
free parking.
There's
That's
no
what.
free parking anywhere.
That's
any
what
big
I
city.
promise you. That's what people mean when they say I don't want to go downtown because there's no parking. Means I don't want to pay for parking. Because
well, that's
I've
very,
had people
but
say that
that's
all the
very
time.
Yeah.
different.
That's what they mean. My dad used to say that. There's no parking. I'm like, yo, there's thousands of parking.
There's no free
garages.
parking anywhere.
Right.
You're not going to get a spot on the street, and if you do, you're going to pay a meter.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe how
Not
little.
at night though. But there's.
I couldn't believe how little they were ripping us off on the Jersey Shore. By the way, parking was like $1 for 4 hours. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
They probably figure, well, you'll spend money everywhere else,
Mm-hmm.
but still, like that doesn't matter. You go anywhere where there's a lot of stuff going on, and they're also trying to rip you off on parking.
But I think the difference between Cleveland and other big cities that don't that charge you have to ask for parking, there's a lot of public transportation. Like Chicago, you can always take the train downtown. Our trains here are not as convenient. You have to park way out of the way to take a train.
No,
That's
I
not true,
understand.
though.
Also,
And
parking downtown is, I mean, unless there's like a huge event, it's
reasonable.
pretty reasonable.
I understand, but I'm
$8.
saying
Yeah.
that's the difference that people make. They're like, oh, well, if I'm in, San Francisco, I can take a trolley, I can take a train, I can take a bus.
Yeah, but
In
we're just
Cleveland,
talking
you
about.
can't do that.
Well, they're not comparing Cleveland to other cities. They're saying, and by the way, they're not saying free. If that's what they mean,
That's what they
I
mean.
would say that's what
you're
they mean.
probably right.
Because
But
there's
there's-
plenty of parking.
There's a lot of people that also they get so nervous about driving downtown
was
because
my
they're
dad.
not down here that often that they don't know which garage to go to.
I get like that.
and they
I have.
they
You're a scarier
just-
They
shadow,
don't
though,
feel
Cody.
safe.
yeah, they don't feel safe. They feel like it's very intimidating. They're like, I don't want to get lost down here. There's like
Lost?
4 roads. Dude, I know. It's
Put the
it's
GPS
ridiculous.
on your phone. Like,
I
there's
know.
no lost anymore.
What if I go down a one-way street?
Who's getting lost?
I've explained the way my boyfriend is with his car, with how he parks far away and everything like that, to the point where he almost refuses to drive downtown. Like if he doesn't have to, he would rather Uber or take my car
would
or
too.
anytime we
And
do
I fully
anything,
understand that.
He's like, I am absolutely not taking my car downtown. Or he'll park up on the roof of like a parking garage.
Why
or-
didn't you drive today, Bill?
Someone
You didn't drive?
No, I didn't drive today. My
Oh.
daughter needed my car, so
Oh,
because her car's getting fixed. So it's just a whole
Well, because I was out there in the main office and I was talking to one of the sales guys and he goes, "Is that Bill?" And we looked across the street and Bill was walking down Euclid. And I go, "Yeah." And then I turned back around and talked to him. But that was like, then I didn't see you for a while. So I was like, well, maybe he's taking in the sights.
I
Maybe
went-
he is taking a pre-show constitutional, walking around.
I walked to Shake Shack, the most healthy thing you can do.
At least
Which-
you walked there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was good though.
Walk up some of those
were like,
fries?
Take an
people
Uber
that
to
said
Shake
Shake Shack is the truth. It's very, very good. I was really
Dude.
impressed by it. Also, you know who has free parking? The Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls.
my
Get tickets,
God.
BillSquire.com.
Wow.
Friday and
Elapsed
Saturday.
time, Mary. 12 minutes,
I'm surprised you
24
made it this
seconds.
long. That's
Listen, I was trying to shoehorn it in for like as soon as we said parking is expensive, I'm like,
Oh, he's been sitting on that for 2 minutes.
Listen, listen, free parking is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere that it exists is a good thing. It's just silly to expect it downtown in a city. Free parking.
What
It's
Cody
silly.
was saying about a lot of the cities that have expensive free parking also having a lot of great transportation. The one place that is not true for is Alan Cox's favorite city, Indianapolis, Indiana. Dude,
Hate Indianapolis.
$60 a night.
Yes, you
Yeah.
think that people.
$35 for like 2 hours, and the entire city is like that. Like you're not getting away parking less than $30 or $40 in
Why
Indianapolis.
is that? Indianapolis isn't like a booming city. Oh, that's
Well,
probably why.
No, I asked, and they said that all of the parking structures in downtown Indianapolis are owned by the same company.
Right.
So they set their prices,
Monopoly.
and it's literally.
But that's a
for,
good.
Yep.
But that's a good. Well, I mean, parking is pure profit. But I mean, also, that's a good way to not get people to pay for parking.
well,
like,
you
how
don't
is
have
your
a
company-
choice.
Well, you take an Uber.
Well, like when I go down there to work at the Helium Comedy Club, I don't have a choice. I have to bring my car with me, or if I fly into Indianapolis and then have to get an Uber there and then walk to the shows, like
yeah, it's
there's
gonna-
some things you have to drive for.
Well,
you
that's
know?
something Indianapolis should look into.
They're
Because
the worst.
Poundcake's right. That is not a fun town.
The first time I went
I know
there,
they're trying to blow it up, but it ain't happening.
I featured 4 shows. My pay was $400, and my parking for the weekend was $180.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
But they weren't kidding. It was all true. I've got to take a break, and if you want to get a text in, those are always free. 35192. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free